Okay, thank you, everyone. Being 3:45, I'm going to call this special council meeting to order, and I'll ask everyone to rise and the city clerk to say a prayer.
O God, let us each in our own way ask your wisdom and guidance in our deliberations. Help us to incorporate into all our decisions those values which will enable us to fulfill our mission to act as responsible stewards and to respect and value the cultural and spiritual tradition of all citizens of the city of Prince Albert. For this we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I would like to also acknowledge that we're on Treaty 6 land, the home of the Métis. And number 3, the approval of the agenda. Councillor Miller.
Thank you. That the agenda for this meeting be approved as presented.
Thank you. Seconder. Councillor Kilmer.
Thank you. I'll second that.
Thank you. I'll prompt the question. Question is now open. Oh, no, Tony. Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Declaration of conflict of interest, you all know that is. We have the one item, and if you're in a conflict, let us know. Reports of administration, 5.1, First Nations University land transfer. Director of Public Works.
Thank you, Mayor.
Director of Public, sorry.
That's fine. Thank you,
Starts
Mayor.
with P, so I'm close. Director of Planning, Greg Ginninger.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, members of council. We're here at a special city council meeting today to discuss a potential land transfer to First Nations University. What I see is the beginning of a potentially a very exciting project for the city of Prince Albert and the region as well, and just as important, a very valuable new partnership between the city and First Nations University. What is being requested of us, of you this evening, is the transfer of approximately 5 acres of land just south of the field house for a nominal amount to First Nations University to construct a new state-of-the-art $40 million facility. The project is contingent on federal funding. We do have some members of the university here today, Rebecca Morris-Hurl, along with Gord Hunchak, and they'll speak to you a little bit more about the project itself, some of the value to our city, and are available to answer any of your questions. So I would ask that they please go up to the podium, and if you'll allow them, a short presentation followed by some questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have the floor.
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank Prince Albert Council for holding this special meeting for us to present that today, and hopefully for a decision. I'm Gord Hunchak, the Vice President of University Relations for First Nations University of Canada. This is Rebecca Morris-Hurl here with me. And we just want to, I guess, reiterate some of the what we see as some of the benefits of this project for the university and for Prince Albert and Northern Saskatchewan. And just give you a little bit more detail behind it, and then answer any questions that you may have if that's appropriate here. So many of you may know we've, as a university, been looking at a new campus in Prince Albert, which we call our Northern Campus, for many years. And it's had various stops and starts. But we now think that we have an amazing opportunity with some potential federal funding to move forward on this project if we can secure the right piece of land, which we have worked with the City of Prince Albert on, and we're talking about that today. In the package that you received, there's an economic impact analysis which shows a very positive return for Prince Albert and the North if this campus was to go ahead. It is a significant project for First Nations University of Canada. It's our number one priority, and it has been for a few years, and we'd like to see this come to fruition over the next couple of years. It will end up likely being anywhere between a $40 and $60 million build. And one can sort of estimate the economic benefits of that kind of activity in the city of Prince Albert and surrounding area in terms of employment and financial return, and also impact from a cultural standpoint into the city itself and the area. So we feel this is a very important project for the city. We know it's an important project for the youth here in Prince Albert and the North, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. This is an amazing opportunity to provide the student experience and the programming that they deserve here that we currently cannot offer in our current facility. And it also goes a long way in terms of working towards reconciliation and addressing some of the TRC calls to action, particularly 11, 16, 43, 44, and 92, and also the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. So as has already been mentioned, we're looking at approximately 5 acres on the corner of 28th and 10th by the recreation facilities, the field house. We think that's an ideal location for this campus, provide students access to the recreation facilities in close proximity. It's near major First Nations land holdings, and it's near the healthcare facilities of the city, which is ideal from a student practicum and work integrated learning opportunities for those fields. I don't know if there's anything much more to say at this point other than answer some questions if you have them, but we're excited about this project. It's important to us, it's important to the city, and it's incredibly important to the youth of the North. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Questions? Councillor Head.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm going to go ahead and move this motion, and I do have a couple comments.
Go ahead.
If I get a seconder.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I just want to say thank you for your comments today and presenting. I did get a chance to read your report, and I was quite excited when the first time you guys had presented your proposal to the city on a different piece of land options. So happy to see that it's been reapplied, and I wish you all the best luck when it comes to your federal funding. This will be a great addition to our city, having this campus. And you're right, we are the northern hub of Saskatchewan. And so listing some of these key benefits of Prince Albert, you know, I can see more than that trickling down to our community. So good luck to you guys all, and I support this wholeheartedly. It's an easy decision for my chair.
He did move it.
Councillor Edwards.
Yeah, and I'll second this motion, Your Worship.
Right,
He did-
go ahead with
he
your
did move
comments.
the motion, I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you very much for your presentation. It's just a wonderful project, and it's going to be so positive for the city. Couple of questions. The number of students that you currently have right now, how many do you have right now?
Rebecca, let you answer that.
We have just under 400 students right now. We've seen a downturn because of COVID. All post-secondary institutions have experienced this, so we are typically around 400, 450, but we're just under right now.
Okay, and they are located downtown for the most part, or all downtown?
All downtown right now.
All downtown?
Yes.
Okay. And when you build this new building, if everything goes through, what's the projected amount?
Of
Is it a
students?
similar number?
Within 10 years, we anticipate 600 to go to 600 FTE. We have some new programming that we have in the works that we can offer once we have a purpose-built building. So 600, I think, is a conservative estimate.
Okay, so a good growth there. That's great to hear. Thank you very much. I just I do support this through and through. It's just another positive for the city of Prince Albert, working with the First Nations, and under the Truth and Reconciliation as well. But the amount of construction jobs in this build is just, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of construction that's going on in the city right now with the yard projects going through and all the new businesses going in there and the arenas and the aquatics and now, you know, providing all of this goes through, you know, the build here along with an OSB, hospital. Wow. There's a lot of positives going on in the city, and this is just one major part of it. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Councillor Bodnick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your presentation, and I want you to know that I support this project 100%, so you will have my vote. I want to thank you, though, for showing confidence in Prince Albert.
Yes.
That's key. When we think about it, here we have now a major educational institution that is showing confidence in our city. We have, as Councillor Edwards mentioned, we have the private sector, the OSV plant, Prince Albert Paper Excellence, showing confidence in the city. The provincial government, with their expansion of the Vic Hospital, showing confidence in the city. And we, as council, and thousands and thousands of residents showing confidence in the city in our new rec complex that's being built at the yard. So this is all what's really good about this. This adds to making Prince Albert, that Cree word, Kistapananic, the gathering place. That's what we are. That's how Prince Albert was founded for thousands and thousands of years prior to Europeans coming here. It was the gathering place. And now we're going to have a top-notch gathering place for higher learning. And that is so positive, and I thank you so much to show that confidence in our community for doing that. I like the fact that it adds, or you mentioned the calls to action. That's important for not only First Nations, but for us, for me as a non-First Nations person, that we are implementing these calls to action that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission has identified. It also, I'm very happy in the report to see that it also talks about our cultural action plan. You know, we have these reports, and I remember prior to getting on council, I criticized council for not following through on all the reports. Now we're following through on all these reports. I see that. Where the cultural action plan, there's 3 or 4 of the action items that are now fulfilling this project that you're here today is fulfilling this. Last but not least, this is just a no-brainer, a common sense thing to do. It's in a great location, as our presenters identified, close to the hospital, but also close to the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse for recreational facilities, close to the largest inclusive playground in Canada, Alfred's Playground, there as well for students, and I assume there'll be a daycare and things like that, so these students will have an opportunity, and the children will have an opportunity to experience the greatness of Prince Albert in that particular location. I just wish all this was in my word, but it's in Prince Albert, and it's great for the entire city. That's what's important. And so once again, thank you, and you have my full support.
Councillor Zepp?
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you being here. I did have a question. I was wondering if you were interested in sharing with us why this location is being proposed. I know that the prior location looked at was near Sask Polytechnic. I guess I'm curious why this location is interesting your body, your organization, as opposed to the other location, and also as opposed to maybe downtown locations.
Yeah. There was the original location that we had talked about and come to agreement on, and in the course of doing further assessment of that, it just no longer fit the needs of the university. And as we look throughout the city for other pieces of land that might serve us and serve the students better, that location that we're talking about now was identified. And for all the reasons we've already talked about, right? Close to recreational facilities, close to PBCN, close to the hospital facilities. It does provide, at approximately 5 acres, it does allow for outdoor activity, it does allow for ceremony, something we can't do downtown at this point in our current facility. It's just a much better suited location for a campus that does allow for expansion in the future. And what we think provides the best opportunity for an amazing student experience here in Prince Albert.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to prompt the question, which is what they're waiting for. The question's now open. I'm missing somebody. Oh, I got it. Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
So thank you, and we're looking forward to cutting the ribbon.
So are we.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Travel safe. Okay, there's no unfinished business. One more. Counselor Head,
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll move to adjourn.
seconder, Counselor Kilmer. Thank you. I'll prompt the question. It's now open. We're adjourned. Thank you, and I'll just change chairs and we'll start the next meeting.